Hey everybody, Dave. Give me one moment. All right, good evening everybody. It's Dave here with another episode of Demos of Dave. This is episode 7, and with the new software that I'm using that our production manager Sadie has been using called StreamYard, I'm actually going to be streaming this show for the first time to YouTube Live as well, and obviously on Facebook Live. So hopefully I'll reach more people and you guys have to suffer through watching me on screen. Don't you love it? So, how's everybody doing? Good beginning to February. Happy February 1st. I'm in the office. It's been cold and rainy, but I'm inside playing with trains. That's always fun. So let's get to talking about some train stuff, since that's what we're here for. First thing I want to go over tonight is our Lionel lighted FasTrack that we came out with last year. You guys have probably seen videos about it already. If not, you might have some as well. But I do have it here, the Lionel lighted FasTrack. You can see I already have it plugged in. This is a DC wall wart. I have it plugged into a 72 wall wart that we sell, but the sets also come with the wall wart. Now, I wanted to answer a couple of questions on this. I've been getting the question of how do you power it if you don't buy the set or if you don't use a wall wart. Well, you have a couple of options. First option is to get the wall wart section like this. And it comes with the barrel jack connection here, which is round. Now, you can take some kind of barrel jack, and if you wanted to, trim it off and hook it up to your AC transformer, and that would work because Illuminated FasTrack is compatible with both AC and DC transformers. I just don't recommend going over 20 volts, pretty much like all of the rest of our products. So that's one option of powering it. The other option is to connect it to your traditional FasTrack, the gray FasTrack, and power it. This is all compatible with gray FasTrack, orange FasTrack, white FasTrack. It's all the same tooling, basically. So any of that will also power it. And yeah, that's the fun way of doing it. Now, like I said, we do sell this piece separate. We do sell these in the ready-to-run sets that come with them, such as the Lionel Junction set, or there was also the Area 51 set that had the all-green LED version. Woohoo! And we're also offering them in separate sale. So you can get the whole pack, you can get the whole oval. I know you can get the just 10-inch straights in like a 4-pack, and then you get the curves as well. So one thing that I do want to note to everybody is that, yes, right now it's limited to 036 because it was kind of intended for that starter set, go around the Christmas tree type deal. That doesn't mean that we're not going to offer other versions in the future. We just need to hear you guys ask for it. So if you want larger radii or whatever, just let us know. And other colors, you know, I see somebody commented that maybe blue for another set. Like, We did the Star Trek and the Frozen sets. That might be cool with an all blue version of this FasTrack Illuminated track. So that could be a possibility in the future. We can do it. We just have to convince Megan and Ryan to do it. So everybody that wants other kinds, email Ryan. He loves emails. He's the king of emails. So anyways, I'm just holding the piece here, and I got just a sample of a freight car. Now, how this works is that we actually have an isolated rail on each section of track. So if you look close, there is, one solid rail on one side, so it's always got the common ground. And then on the other side, there's actually 3 rails. This little short piece, and then the isolated rail, which goes almost the whole length, and then one more short piece here. And when the circuit is connected using the axle on the train, it activates the lights. Woo! Just like that. It is fun trying to put a train on a track when you're holding the track at an angle. If I had been smart, I would have probably put this down on the layout and did it, but I'm not that smart. See how it turns off, and then as soon as you hit that rail, it lights up. Woo, look at those colors. Christmas, yay. Christmas with Dave in February. So yeah, there's a couple answers. Compatible with, like I said, AC and DC transformers. And I even tested this with older transformers, a post-war ZW, a post-war KW. Just one thing that I always recommend with the older transformers is to have some sort of circuit protection in place, whether that's diodes or circuit breakers. The post-war transformers are not always reliable in the circuit breaker department, so you want to protect your modern electronics. So yay, cool stuff. I hope that gives a little bit of a technical insight to the FasTrack stuff. Now go watch all the cool videos that Megan and company have done, because it actually shows cool with the train running around and following the train, and I'm just Dave explaining engineering stuff that puts people to sleep, right? Yep. Anyways, so let's move on. The newest innovation from engineering in terms of apps and stuff like that that you saw in the latest catalog, 2021 Big Book, is LVC. And what LVC is Lionel Voice Control. So this is what I want to talk about primarily tonight. Lionel Voice Control is for our Lion Chief app, both on Android and iOS. And for those who aren't familiar, our Lion Chief app is for any Bluetooth controlled train. So anything that we've made from 2017 up through now that does have Bluetooth, such as Lion Chief Plus, LC 2.0, and Legacy engines, all are compatible with Bluetooth, are also going to be compatible with LVC or Lionel Voice Control. We actually spent a good part of a year and a half, a little short of a year and a half, developing voice control, and finally got it rolled out last month with the new catalog. And hopefully some of you guys have been able to check it out, play with it, see how it works. And I'm looking forward to feedback. But honestly, people have been very positive on it, saying they love it, and haven't really said, oh, well, you should do this or add this. So maybe we hit as many bases as we could for now. But anyways, let me demo it, and after watching me, hopefully you'll go download it, the app, if you don't already have it, and try it out with your trains. So I have another stream to add. There we go. So there's my second camera. Oh, it sounds like it's echoing, doesn't it? I think I forgot to mute something. Let me mute this guy. There we go. That's better. Goodness. The whole purpose was to not have to move the camera, and here I am moving the camera. Anyways, so to help me demo is one of our new GS engines. This one here I got is actually the Vision engine that came in the freight set. So the 4457, which was the GS4, yes, and it came with the Vision line freight car, reefer, a couple of sound cars, and a camera caboose. It was a really good set. Yes, GS4. Anyways, it's just going to be my demo engine tonight, right? And on my main screen here, I'll show you the app. So, already being connected to an engine, you have to connect to an engine before you can use voice control. And once you're connected and back on the home screen, you can see here the picture of the engine, the picture of the GS. And over here is your icon for voice control. Looks like a guy with a big mouth yelling. So basically Ryan, minus the beard. So tap on that button. You get this box or prompt that pops up. And it says ready for voice commands. And it just heard me say everything I just said to you, so I had to close it. So anyways, let's try some voice commands and see what it does. Full volume. Whistle. Bell. Bell off. So those are some of the cool voice commands you can do. There's a lot of speed commands, and they're ranging anywhere from slow speed, medium speed, high ball, even to go faster or go slower, in which you'll just change the speed step incrementally. So you go from, say you're going speed step 1 in the line chief engine. If you say just go faster, it'll increase by 3, go to speed step 4, and so on. If you want to adjust smaller than just saying slow speed, medium speed, high speed, etc. So that's pretty neat. Let me show that, even though the camera view is a little limited here. I'll move the camera back a bit. You'll have to put up with looking at the side of me, but just focus on the engine. It's much better than looking at me. Anyways, let's go back into voice command. Go to slow speed. Emergency stop. Speak.
SP-4457 to the tower. Station work complete. Ready to head west. Can I pull? Over. Timers are running on the plant now. You're the next move. Out.
Smoke. Smoke off. I don't want to choke myself out here. But those are some of the cool ones, right? Now, what I want to show you are a couple of the Easter eggs that we put in here. Such as the stuff that we didn't put in the help menu. That reminds me to show you the help menu. When you have voice control open, if you just say help or assistance, help, you're going to get a list of the commands that are available. Now, the commands in this list here are the basic commands that are available. They're not going to be everything, right? They're not going to have all of the Easter eggs that I stated inside of that menu. It's simply just to get you started on whether to change the speed, change the smoke, things like that. So that's where you're going to have to play around with the voice control and see what kind of Easter eggs there are. So let's try one real quick. Let me back it up. And so I'm going to have this just going at a slow speed coming through the screen. And then I'm going to do one of the Easter eggs, and you'll see what it does. as soon as it gets around here. I don't want to go so fast that it goes out of speed before it's done. Entering the station. Leaving the station. Go to medium speed. So that's cool, right? So that's one of the hidden features is both the entering a station and leaving a station sequence. Mute. That's better. So there's also volume as well. There's mute, low, medium, and high volume. Now I didn't add in increase or decrease volume to go incrementally. If you want the real fine volume adjustments, you can just use the menu in the app. But you can get low, medium, and high volume as well as mute. Anyways, back to the Easter egg of the station sequence. If you start out, you can just say you're leaving the station or exiting station. It will first turn on the bell, and then it'll get the engine moving just to a slow speed. And from the slow speed, that's where you can then take over and go to medium speed, high ball, and get going. And then you can also do the same thing with entering the station. Now, one thing I want to say is that the voice control on both the Android and the iOS, you don't have to just be a robot about it. If you want to say entering the station, you don't have to say enter station or entering station. You can be like, train engineer, we are entering the station. And then what it'll do is that the app will take the recognized phrase out of that sentence, which is entering station, pull it out, and that's what it'll do with the engine. So that's where you especially for children, right? It's very full of play value when you don't have to just talk like a robot. Instead, you can naturally speak to the train and have it respond to your commands. So that's pretty neat in my opinion. So one thing that we've been calling the train around here is engineer. So you can say, engineer, please go to slow speed or something like that. Or full volume. Dave, please speak. It helps if you turn it on. Dave, please. It helps if you turn it on. I really got to try and press the button right. Dave, speak.
Southern Pacific 4457 to the dispatcher. Ready to roll. Can I pull? Over. You're clear to proceed east. Out.
See, so that's pretty neat. Or if you want it to be quiet, you'd be like, Derek, shut up. It'll actually reply to shut up. I know. So that's a couple of the cool things about that we got going on with Lion Chief and voice control. Let me show one more Easter egg. I probably shouldn't. I should let you guys discover them on your own, but I kind of want to show you one more. Two bits. Usually works a lot better with without such a throaty whistle. I wonder if maybe if I change it to one of the GS's horns. Let's try it again. 2 bits. dot, 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 dot. Right, it would just, yeah, I'm just being a nerd. Some whistles and horns it doesn't work too well with. Others it does work pretty well. It all depends on how long the attack and loop and all that is. Yay! Now, one last thing to note is that the features, while we have voice control and whatnot in both the Android and the iOS, the screen's going to look a little different per different versions. Now, my iPhone is currently the one showing you the GS, so I can't show you that. But if you have an iPhone, you can download the app and see how it'll look different from the Android version, which is what I'm showing you here on the screen. Due to different screen sizes and layouts and icon sizes, the app's going to look a little bit different from version to version. The button, like the voice control button might be further down in the iOS version, but the functionality is going to be the same. It's just trying to accommodate so many different devices and screens out there that we have to shift and move the buttons around as needed. So when you see me holding up the Android version and it looks different on your iPhone, no worries, it's supposed to. And then if you download it on a tablet, it's really going to look different with the buttons all spaced out and bigger. But either way, the functionality is still going to be the same. Now, I really implore you to bust out your engines, bust out your track, and download the app and give voice control a chance. I know a lot of people are, I don't need voice control, and I just want to use my post-war transformer and derba. So it's not for you. That's fine. But even if it's not for you, even if you don't think it's for you, maybe download it and give it a try, and you might find something you enjoy. Or download it and give it a try, and you don't like it, but hey, maybe your grandkids will, because they've been using smartphones since the day they walked out of the hospital when they were born, and they just know how to use them better than we do. So, you don't always know the kind of joy it might bring. And the great part is that if you really just find that you don't like it, you just don't have to use it. So that's cool to me. Another feature that you might have seen in the 2021 Big Book is one that we're calling VSR, Voice Streaming and Recording. I remember the acronym. But it's only going to be this year in some select ready-to-run sets. You'll see the icon next to the set and on the different pages in the catalog. But I'm getting closer to being able to demo that, and I will have that on a future episode of Demos with Dave. And it's going to be really neat to see that you'll be able to record an announcement in the app or even live stream your announcement, right? You can talk into your app and say, entering the station, and it'll live stream right through the speaker on your phone, right? So, like I said, we're trying that out and ready to run this year. And if it's well received, people like it, we may put it in other lines of trains. We'll see what the future holds. So, for now, that's what I have tonight. Is there anybody on here that has any questions that may be related to either voice commands or Illuminated FasTrack? I was trying to look through the comments while I was talking, and that's probably where you heard me pause a couple times. But honestly, there's so many comments that I kind of lost track after a while. So give it a minute here for anybody to type in some questions. I know there's also kind of a delay between when I'm actually talking and when you guys finally see the video. So I'll give it a minute. Will voice recording be playable through new legacy engines? The answer to that is no for this year. Like I said, right now, it is only on select Lion Chief engines. But I'm not to say that that's going to be the case permanently. We are giving it a try in our ready-to-run sets that have the icon in the catalog. And again, if it's successful and people find that they like it, we might enter it into other product lines in the future. So definitely not out of the question. Voice control come to the cab remote app. I'm not going to comment on that right now, but let's see what the future holds, okay? Are you able to have your voice through the engine as well with Lionel Voice Control? Voice Control only recognizes the command through the app and sends the commands to the engine. That doesn't have anything to do with voice streaming. So the ones that are voice streaming will hear your announcements through the speaker of the engine. Will only be in new sets. If you look at the 2021 Big Book, it'll have the icon next to the set. And the reason that it's only compatible with those new sets that have the icon is because it is a hardware change. We do have to make significant changes to the hardware, including updated Bluetooth module, as well as some other added components to the circuit board to be able to support the feature. But again, going down in the future, we might see that creep into the other product lines. Will voice control be available in hotspot mode? That's not, we didn't put it in that one yet. Kind of wanted to see how the rollout would be in just regular Bluetooth trains, so we kept it out of the hotspot mode. But if people, continue to give positive feedback, we can look into adding it to hotspot mode with the app. Let's see what else you got here. You guys actually have quite a few questions. I'm happy about that. Hit me with your best shot. A lot of questions that aren't really questions. Will my engines become self-aware? Not until you become self-aware, Pat. Just kidding, bud. Is Lionel due to put LVC on the Universal Remote app? The Universal Remote app is just for updating the code in the Universal Remote. That doesn't have anything to do with voice control. All right. But other than that, can all Lionel trains are voice control? Anything with Bluetooth will work with the voice control. So it looks like that is all the questions we got. Philip, I see the S1. I kind of want to save it for a future episode of the demos, but yeah, I do got the S1. Look at this thing is so big I can't even fit it in the screen. Maybe if I do it at an angle. Yeah, but yeah, this is the Penske S1. This thing is, I'm gonna go play baseball. I mean, the tender itself is as long as most steam engines. It's crazy. I will probably review that engine as well as a couple others in a future episode of Demos of Dave. Probably the next episode, episode 8. Give it a couple of weeks, and I'll have the sounds and everything in there, and I can show it to you. The big thing, the biggest thing about that I do want to show is, it doesn't have whistle steam because the real engine didn't have a whistle. So instead, we did pop-offs, kind of like we did on the Vision Line Niagara. So I'll show that to you next time, all right? So anyways, have a good February 1st. I'm going to go home and have fun with my trains at home or something. I don't know. I'm going to go do what I want to do. It's my business. Bye, guys.